Hey, Libras, let's get into this, shall we? So, Libras, we are going to take a peek at whatever is in the highly specific category, all right? So, any little details that pop up, and we'll just see what we got, okay? First off, cards are moving a little strangely, like jutting out. We have a Two of Swords, and I don't know if somebody is walking someplace where they see graffiti, or maybe this is like the Walk of Stars, like Hollywood, California, or they see an engraving like in memory of, but it would be like right on the cement, right on the pavement. And it's if it is graffiti, it's written in really nice script. Otherwise, I would say it's literally an inscription. Like I say, this is giving Hollywood Walk of Stars, like something to memorialize someone. It doesn't have to do with, I shouldn't have used the word memorialize, because I'm not talking about a script that is written like, in tombstones and such, but rather to like commemorate or to celebrate or honor. So whatever is written, it is beautiful script. It is on the ground in the pavement. And we may have a character that walks by something like this. Now, as a side note, someone may also be working on calligraphy skills. They may have like really great penmanship or something, or someone could be receiving. Usually if we see something in really nice script or print or, handwritten calligraphy in today's era, it is because it's like, like an invitation to, let's say, a graduation ceremony or a wedding, or, something like that. It would be a very fancy invitation. The only thing is Two of Swords says, I'm not getting invited there, or I'm not sending one of those to that person. Okay. Page of Cups could be that even if I send it, they're not going to get it. And she kind of looks like she's like a mailbox. You notice how we have the little shape here of like a mailbox? It could be that either somebody tries to send a letter and it doesn't get there, and they sent it and it had like very, this was like very, important, and it was handled with the greatest of care. If this was a letter written, it was written with like intense, thought process and meaning attached. And it either never made it into this person's mailbox or inbox or something, because we have the moon hovering around the one, spoon essentially, but this is a Two of Swords, so we'll say around one sword. There's this mystery that, or somebody's like, I don't know if they got it. Did it arrive? Did they get my apology? Or should I call and apologize? Now, either this is something that was sent and they don't know if it was delivered, or it wasn't sent, and they're like, maybe I can just write and apologize and say, oh, did you get the invitation? Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. That should have gone out. They must have gotten lost in the mail. It's one of the two. Like somebody either wants to concoct a story that they know isn't true about how, oh no, I sent you that, but you didn't get it? Oh. Eight of Cups is upright. That, or it feels like there's a question mark. With the Two of Swords, did you not get it? Or did you get it and you want to act like you got it? Is there space for polite, touching base, checking in? How do we handle this with this grace while still giving deniability? It could be something like that, especially because it seems like we're dealing with, something that was very prim and proper, if you're getting a calligraphy or, whatever, some aerial print, or I can't even think of the name. It's not Times New Roman, but like, one of the really beautiful, my brain keeps wanting to go to Arial, but I can't really picture, is Arial one of the really, extravagant scripts? I don't think so. But with that Eight of Cups, this says whether or not this person got it or didn't get it will determine whether or not I close this book and I walk away forever. And we have this little person literally walking on the top of the book, and the book is closed, but the moon is still there. Like, I just don't know. I don't want to give up if there's no reason to. And then we have all these stamps that have like hearts on them, like, but the shape of a true human heart. We have the Hierophant. Somebody's higher self is telling them, wait a second. He's literally saying, stop. You don't walk off. Don't think that, well, I sent it and they didn't respond. They may not have gotten the message. There is a really, maybe this was a huge apology and someone took the time to pen it and they wrote it and they're like, and I didn't hear anything. And so now it's over. I need to just give up. However, because we have that moon there twice and their higher self is kind of, giving them like, whoa, slow your jets, cool your jets here. No, everything is not. You notice how we have like the black and white bars here on the column, which is more reminiscent of like piano keys, but it's just the reminder, not everything is in life can be put in these perfectly little tidy, well, I did this, they didn't get that result, so that's the end of that. Not everything can be that simplified. You want it to be, but it's not. Just like there's, major and minor keys and sharps and flats and, there's different chords. You have a piano with all the keys, but the amount of different sounds you can create is really quite, a cacophony. Like it's not just one key at a time that you hit. There's much that you can do that accelerates things or makes greater sounds. So there's always more to anything in human life than just the one key that we hit. And then we go, well, I hit send. They must have got it. My work is done. It's like, no, you might have hit the send button and that didn't go to the right inbox, or you typoed something and you didn't get the message that you typoed it, or it went to their spam folder, or, they don't check their email frequently, or, it just says that it's not just we don't live in a one button push kind of world. So everything is not so simple. Everything is not, I did that, I didn't get a result, so I'm done. Something is telling this person to wait. Now, who this person is, they could be a Taurus. They could also be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. That first card out there, the Two of Swords, because that carries strong weight since it's the first card out. Four of Pentacles, Five of Swords. It also says if somebody had to send an apology, the one who receives that apology might need time to digest it, especially if the one who had to send the apology actually did something that was not very nice. And the person who receives the apology might need time to digest this, think about it, mull it over, because they could have been holding on to the memory of a hurt, a pain, something that caused a separation, something that felt intentionally mean. And if that's what somebody is writing to apologize for, it doesn't mean that it'll be fully cleared up instantly. When we send an apology, we probably still have to let somebody like soak that in, saturate that. You see how extravagant and detailed his breeches are? There's a lot of details to consider, and it feels as if this apology that's been sent, and this could be Libra who sent this apology to someone, or Libra has received this apology, and they're going to need time to digest it. And whomever sent this apology might be like, well, it's been an hour and I didn't hear anything back. And it's like, whew, you might need to wait, several days for Libra to digest this. Also, Libra still maybe didn't even get the message, but the higher self, can we just first see who this person is so we can decide who we're talking about? Ace of Pentacles, they're somebody who wants a do-over. They're somebody who wants a new beginning. They are somebody who's hoping that this will open up a doorway. Also, I look at this, and I've never been there before, but I look at this as like Florida Keys, that they're a highway that stretches out like across basically the ocean to get to kind of like the peninsula, or I guess technically like island or something. I'm picturing like a place, and I'm sure that's not the only place in the world that has, a highway that stretches across a body of water that's significant. But they are hoping for a pretty remarkable bridge to be constructed in order for them to get this new beginning. So they got to remember what they're asking for is no small feat, no small accomplishment. But I said, who are they? Right now, they could be an earth sign. Nine of Cups. They could also be somebody who's saying that their life is terrific and it's really good, but I have a hard time thinking that. I don't know if this person does something with cards, but all I see is, diamonds and hearts. So I'm thinking this could be somebody who plays with cards quite a bit. This could be like someone who uses playing cards. So let's say they're really good at poker, or let's say, cards could be anything. Maybe they make greeting cards. Maybe they use tarot cards. But that Nine of Cups says they seem to be really happy. They do have a sweatband on their head, by the way, and some groovy shoes. It's giving a distinct 80s vibe here. Who are you, character? I still don't get who you are, other than you're somebody who's saying that you're happy, but you don't look very happy to me. You're waiting for maybe a different set of cards to be dealt to you. Page of Swords. This is somebody who does a lot of research, perhaps, waits for things to go right, waits until they get what they want. Look, I don't know. This, again, could be a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. This could be somebody that Libra is dealing with who owed them a huge apology. And this person could be, I'm thinking, a bit of a strategist. The same way, you might be if you are a really good card player. They seem to be somebody who tends to want gratification. They seem to also be willing to play the long game sometimes, or at least do things and then they expect a result. But they do kind of study up on things. This is a very intelligent person on one hand, but they also seem to want and kind of an immediate, okay, now I'm forgiven and I can get what I want. I don't see that happening. And I think that their higher self is warning them that's probably not how this is going to go down. You're not going to get instant results here. Okay, who is Libra in all this? How about we get there? Eight of Swords. I'm going to say Libra. You see the brain is where the bird cage is. So Libra is the one who would be receiving this apology. And then they would have to really consider what this means to them. There's this porthole here in the brain. It also feels like there's been storm clouds. Libra's a storm chaser sometimes. And, keep in mind, Libra would have that the Libra scales, so the balancing of, trying to make peace with what they like versus what they don't like, the pros and the cons, weighing things, and they can get stuck in their head weighing things sometimes. So I said, who is Libra in all this? And Libra appears to be somebody who has seen something positive, but is still saying, but there's so much negative here. And it is making them unable to move forward with a decision. So Libra, did you get this apology, or is this how you're going to feel when you get the apology, when you get this letter? The Devil. I'm going to say Libra's, even before ever getting this, Libra has thought long and hard about this. In fact, maddeningly so. I'm going to say, sorry, I have to cover them up because they're naked. I'm going to say that Libra is, they think and they even want this person still. They have a lot of passion. This is somebody that Libra finds very attractive, somebody that Libra has happy memories of, intimate memories of. This is somebody Libra does actually want. And that could be where some of the pros and cons are. This person, is very spicy, but I also think that they're really bad for me, but I have good memories of them too. Queen of Swords. Libra sitting here on a drum, holding the metronome. Again, everything here has very sensual vibes, which is unusual, especially for the Queen of Swords. I don't know if Libra likes, short skirts and long boots or what, drawing attention to their limbs, long, kind of a burlesque vibe going on here, or, dressed up as a naughty butterfly or something for Halloween. There's something about this where somebody's got some stellar boots, okay, with long, at least calf high, if not above the knee boots. and like short skirt or short shorts or something. But there is this awareness that just because there is desire and passion that Libra has for this particular person, there were a lot of toxic aspects of this too. And Libra is like, I think that they're spending quite a bit of time trying to balance out their emotions, say, take away, if I could forget the sensual aspect of this, was there enough good for me to want this person back in my life? Again, I'm not entirely sure that I don't think Libra's received this message. I think this is somebody Libra's been like very, they've been heavy on Libra's brain, right? Maybe for a really long time, this person has been filling Libra's brain, and it's been, would I want them back? Would I not? Would I not? So I could see that being like a lot of pressure, on them to think about this and to try to preemptively talk themselves through, do I even want to hear from this person or not? Maybe that's going to factor into whether or not the letter that this person sends ever even lands in Libra's lap. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Look, the letter it's already been sent, but it's taking a long time to get to Libra. And in this time period, I feel like Libra's energy is going to be the deciding factor of whether or not this letter gets in. It's interesting because this person is riding on a zebra, not on a horse. This is like the mailman of sorts, but maybe it's going to come through like an unexpected extra set of hands. The zebra, when they say, pay attention to the zebra in the room, it says, what doesn't belong? What doesn't fit in a scenario? Because you shouldn't have a zebra probably standing in your living room. I mean, unless, and maybe Libra, or maybe they have a zebra, or maybe whomever delivers it is going to be wearing some kind of like zebra print, name badge, or, whatever, shoelaces or something like that. But there is the unexpected here, but it's taking a long time, but for a good reason. It's giving Libra a chance to determine, would I want to hear from this person? This person already sent a message. They are, waiting and wondering what's going to happen. Did Libra get my message? The message is taking time to get there, and it could show up in a weird inbox, but or Libra could miss it altogether. It depends. If Libra determines, I don't want to hear anything from this person, I don't care what they have to say, then it could be Libra will never come across this message, or not for years if they decide they don't want it. If Libra does want it, then it still is taking time, but I think things will probably suddenly fall into Libra's hands in an unexpected way, in an unexpected moment, that all of a sudden, there it is. There's the letter. But right now it's still in transit and it's moving slow. But that is because I'm not blaming Libra. I'm just saying Libra's energy is directly impacting the flow of this like transmission arriving to them, because they're not sure if they want it. So whatever Libra wants or doesn't want, if they get clear, it says the message will arrive sooner. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Sorry, that's a weird one, guys, but sometimes the sci-fi storylines are my favorites. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.